Hey, this is Jim at Broadfield, joining you for another Thursday webinar every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Tune in right here at broadfield.live. You will see that I am being joined by a special guest for today's show, Jim McLean from Matrox. Hey, Jim, how are you, man?
Jim, I'm doing great. It's really super to be with you today.
I'm glad to have you with us. Last time you and I spoke was at NAB New York, which was not that long ago. And I'm really excited to share with all of our dealers today some of the things that we've been working on that really came out of some of the great conversations that we had at the show. And one of the things that I hope we get across in today's show is that Matrox is a valued Broadfield partner, and they're listening to what you guys are doing out there in the field. Remote production is a huge opportunity in the broadcast space, live event production space, everything out there. And Matrox is putting together some really nice bundles to help you go after the customers, go after the opportunities, and help increase your sales and your success. So without further ado, let's introduce this brand new REMI workflow bundle from Matrox, which is a limited time offer that includes everything you need to get your ST2110 pipelines flowing. Jim, can you introduce yourself, what Matrox Video is doing, and this bundle that's available now for our dealers?
Good afternoon. I'm Jim McLean with Matrox. I work with our customers, dealers, and value distributors like Broadfield in a good chunk of the U.S. and Canada and Latin America. Jim mentioned remote production, and remote production is a super valuable tool for all of your dealers' broadcast customers. It allows them to move away from a capital equipment heavy way of doing things to a lighter, more versatile solution. Matrox has always been an innovation-centric and customer-focused organization. So we listen to our customers about what was valuable to them. And this solution enables your broadcast customers to leverage their SDI-based cameras and acquisition equipment that is out in the field and integrate that with their latest IP 2110-based gear that is likely living in a centralized production facility. So it's a Monarch Edge encoder or a stack of Monarch Edge encoders because we can sync those all up together, acquiring content out in the field, delivering it over the internet or through the cloud back to your production facility into Monarch Edge decoder or decoders, and then into your 2110 production gear.
Absolutely. And when we look at the bundle, what the bundle is that we've put together is a Monarch Edge E4 encoder, a Monarch Edge D4 decoder, and 4 of the Convert IP DSS converters, which are really made to help integrate all of your sources into that ST2110 production. And as Jim mentioned just a moment ago, this is a nice bundle that is put together at a very affordable price to start to get your production wheel spinning. You can deploy multiple bundles across an installation, and the Monarch Edges are completely scalable across your production environments to give you all of that capabilities that you need, right, Jim?
Absolutely.
That's great. So again, if we look at this bundle, it is available now through December 31st, comes in at under $21,000. That gives you a complete broadcast level REMI workflow with ST2110 technology. Let's talk about some of the different components in a little bit more detail of what's included in the bundle itself. Jim, you talked about those Monarch Edge encoders and decoders. Can you talk to me a little bit more about those for our dealers who aren't familiar with the Edge series?
Of course. What do broadcasters care about when they're doing a remote production? They care about the highest video quality, lowest latency, and reliability. Feedback from our customers and partners is Monarch Edge delivers delivers on all of that. Um, we have, again, I mentioned 422 10-bit capabilities, all the remote production features that your broadcast customers are going to expect. Our streams are synced. We work with Genlock. We support tally systems. We support talkback communications. All of this is our tech under the hood. So we are able to deliver the highest quality at the lowest latency, even at low bit rates. We've got lots of feedback from people who've done Pepsi Challenge type situations with our encoders and other encoders, whether they're H.264 or H.265. Monarch Edge always comes out or represents itself very favorably in those cases, even if we're running at a lower bit rate than somebody else's encoder.
And that REMI workflow bundle that we're talking about, Jim, compared to some of the competitive solutions in the marketplace, it's given you a 4-channel production bundle at a cost that's comparable to some single-channel solutions out there, right?
Absolutely. What this will allow your dealers to do is approach customers and opportunities that perhaps they would not have been able to approach before, whether that was budget on the customer side, or perhaps a case where a manufacturer had a product that they were selling direct into that account. So it's a new way to begin conversations with your customers that are moving towards 2110, but absolutely have all that existing SDI camera gear out in the field.
Awesome. And there are a couple of features that really make the Monarch Edge perfect for these REMI workflows. Jim, can you talk about some of those?
And Jim, I can see some of them up on the screen here, which is helpful. I mentioned synchronized streams before. You would assume that a multi-channel encoder would have all of its SDI inputs synced up. That is not necessarily the case. So not only can we synchronize our streams across the 4 SDI inputs to this device, we can sync multiple edge devices together. If you've got a 20 camera shoot, we can synchronize all of those sources and deliver them back to our decoders spot on. We support all the mainstream methods of transporting data over a network. When these devices were brought out initially, they were built and designed for remote production. Our plan was always to add other features, contribution features, distribution features. So with some of our more recent software releases, we've enabled all the features that somebody looking to do contribution type work would appreciate. Ancillary data, SCUDdy, closed captioning, HDR, and more. And I'll also let you know some of the things that are coming very soon to the Monarch Edge. We're focused right now, or really discussing right now, a 4-channel Monarch Edge encoder. With our next firmware release, which is due out next month, we're going to be able to turn that 4-channel encoder into a 2-channel encoder, 2-channel decoder, or a 3-channel encoder, 1-channel decoder. So reconfigurable I/O, reprogrammable I/O on the Monarch Edge, and we think this is going to make the device even more versatile in dense environments. It will save rack space, but it will certainly allow people to use this thing for more productions. And the more you can use a device, the better it is to justify it to a procurement process.
Absolutely, and that leads us right into the bidirectional communication capabilities that it offers. An important part of any REMI workflow, right?
Absolutely. To be able to deliver program back, see what's out there is super valuable to the people in the field. Yep. And we're doing that today, and we've been doing that for quite a while with our Monarch Edge S1. That is a single input, single output SDI device, so 1 in, 1 out, simultaneous encode and decode. We often find them deployed with our 4-channel encoders and decoders to provide that program back.
Excellent. And then, of course, you have your contribution encoding capabilities and must-have features like HDR and other options as well, right?
Yes. The big ones that people ask for, closed captioning,
Yep.
and the ability to trigger ads. So
Sure.
study.
Absolutely. And it gives you all that capability. So again, Jim, we talked about the Edge series and the different products that are available within that. Let's just go through that list for our dealers. One of the biggest things to do when we talk about these workflows is to identify the specific products and the components that make up. In that REMI workflow bundle, we are including the Edge E4 encoder and the D4 decoder. Those are just two parts of that Monarch Edge series. Jim, why don't you walk us through the full product line here?
Yes. We were just discussing the Monarch Edge S1. That's the bidirectional unit. Again, single input, single output. All these devices really fit into broadcast workflows. We recognize that there would be value for some of our customers to have a 420 8-bit version of Monarch Edge. If all the content you're working with is going to end up on the web somewhere, that's a 420 8-bit world. So there's another encoder. It's a Monarch Edge E4 8-bit that saves your customers some money, offers a better value, while still delivering great quality video, 420 8-bit as opposed to 422 10-bit.
Excellent. And then, of course, the other ingredient in that REMI workflow bundle is the Convert IP series. Jim, why don't you introduce the Convert IP?
Absolutely. I'll take one step back. Matrox is a 2110 company. We make a lot of the 2110 gear that's in other people's production systems. So we are very familiar with 2110 and IP workflows, and also the need to be able to integrate baseband systems with 2110 environments. So that's the market that Convert IP is addressing. It's a full line of devices that function as senders or receivers. You tell the device you're a sender or you're a receiver. Different connectivity on them. In the bundle, we're including our DSS model, which is a dual 25 gig fiber connection device. But we have HDMI versions, we have HT-based versions, we have Ethernet versions across the line. And what these devices do is they will allow you to take content from a 2110 or other IP environment and put it into a baseband environment, whether that's, again, HDMI or SDI predominantly in broadcast. But the reverse is also true. If you want to take SDI content and bring it into a 2110 production system, you can do that as well.
And that is the model that we're talking about within that REMI workflow bundle. That is the Convert IP DSS, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Excellent.
And why that model is the one that's in it is, well, two main reasons that all have to do with connectivity. It is SDI, and it has the dual 25 gig SFP slots to connect with those 2110 networks.
And I guess this is a great place to note for all of our dealers. We built this REMI workflow bundle as a way to illustrate what can be done with the Edge series and the Convert IPs to create that ST2110 workflow. As Jim mentioned before, where you could use multiple units in a single workflow, you can also change the models, and we can help identify the best solution for the project that you're working on. You can reach out to our sales engineering team where Glenn and Logan are fully trained and can help you spec out the right Matrox products, or we can get Jim McLean and his team to help us out as well. These resources are available not only to Broadfield, but to all of our dealers as well. Right, Jim? We could have them contact you and we could help figure this all out, right?
Jim, I'm glad you brought that up. Matrox is an engineering focused company, engineering driven company. So our resources are available to Broadfield's dealers, the dealers' customers. We're here to help. That's the message.
Absolutely. It's all about building that right solution for the right project. Now, Jim, I'm sure you touched on a lot of these different points already just in introducing the Convert IP, but it is important to note that there are a lot of reasons why you would offer your customers the Convert IP for their ST2110 workflows. Jim, is there anything more that you'd like to highlight here?
Yes. We've certainly spent some time talking about 2110. And there are IP-based things like IPMX. There are Pro AV and AV codecs that live in IP environments as well. And Convert IP will be a part of all of those workflows. There's a very good reason that even your broadcast customers are looking into IP-based workflows, and part of that is they leverage IT technology. They leverage economies of scales that are achieved in IT-based technology in terms of switches and other devices, because the IT market is much, much bigger than the broadcast market. It also enables more room for innovation and companies that can break into that market, with the goal being best of breed solutions where a customer can pick and choose the right solutions, the right pieces that fit their requirements, fit their environment, as opposed to being locked into a single manufacturer and a proprietary system.
Excellent. And the other thing that I'd like to highlight here is that there are TAA compliant SKUs available. So when that is a requirement for the projects that you're working on, and we are hearing from our dealers, more and more people are being asked for TAA compliant SKUs, that Matrox does have that available throughout a lot of their product line. So
absolutely. And Jim, I know a lot of your dealers do government work, federal sector work, and that becomes a requirement.
Absolutely does. So again, some of these features highlighted across the suite of Convert IP products is giving you that AV to IP conversion, not just ST2110, the IPMX, and everything that Jim and I have been talking about already. It's giving you both uncompressed and compressed video support and a fully redundant, simple network connectivity. Jim, it's very easy to say that Convert IP, when we're talking about these professional production workflows, is really going to be a very good turnkey type solution to fit in merging that baseband to the AV over IP solutions that our dealers are working on, right?
Yes, and it solves a real challenge of how to move that content around. It also, it's not the first decision that these production environments are going to make. They're going to select the core devices, but we're part of the plumbing that enables all of those workflows.
Absolutely. And when we talk about those workflows, one of the things that comes up all the time is the Panasonic Kairos production systems. Broadfield Distributing is an elite Panasonic Kairos dealer, and a lot of our dealers are already working on ST2110 projects. Matrox and Panasonic have worked closely together along with Broadfield to help answer some of those solutions, and becomes a great full project quote for all of your Kairos production needs. So definitely keep that in mind when you're working on Kairos systems for any of your broadcast or production companies, that Broadfield can help not only with the Kairos, but with the Matrox Convert IP and REMI workflow stuff that we talked about today.
Yeah. And Panasonic is a company that both Matrox and Broadfield have worked closely with. And reality is Broadfield and Matrox help Panasonic sell more gear. because we can fill the pieces that they don't have, that their customers need.
And that brings us full circle back to the REMI workflow bundle that we started talking about today. This workflow bundle is available now. We have all the information set up on Broadfield.com. It's also available for Matrox. We can send you some emails, email templates, cut sheets, anything that you need to help get those conversations started with your customers who are looking at remote production solutions. Reach out to your Broadfield sales rep at 800-634-5178. Reach out to Matrox directly. We'll get Jim on the phone to help us work through the entire solution. Jim, thank you so much for joining us today.
I'm glad to be here, and I hope we've given you dealers something to think about, a reason to reach out to some of their customers, ask different questions, and then again, Broadfield's here to support you. Matrox is here to support you. Both of our goals are the same. We want to be a good partner for you.
Awesome. So again, reach out to your Broadfield sales rep. We can help answer any of your questions on these solutions. Give us a call at 800-634-5178 and tune in every week at Broadfield.com. Thanks for joining us, and thanks again, Jim. Have a great day.
Same to you. Thank you.
Broadfield Distributing is a value-added distributor of live production, streaming, video editing, and storage products. We only sell to resellers. We are always looking for new dealers, so call us at 1-800-634-5178 or email sales@broadfield.com. You'll like doing business with Broadfield because we make it easy to do business.